Poker is the most popular card game in this world. So, in this video I will be explaining the basic rules just enough so you can start playing. The most popular version is Texas Hold'em, and I will be focusing on the online version of that. So let's get started. So poker is played with French playing cards. There are 52 cards in those, and there are no jokers in the deck. The deck has 4 suits: the diamonds, the spades, the clubs, and the hearts. And each suit contains 13 different cards, and the order of the numbers go from 2 to 10. There are also 4 different special cards called the face cards. From order, there are the jack, the queen, the king, and the ace. Poker is a turn-based game where players take turns making decisions. Poker can be played for real money, points, or chips. The goal is to win these from the other players. There may be a tie in a game, in which case the remaining players will share the stakes equally. Poker is usually played over multiple games in a row. You can win in 2 ways. The first one is when you have the strongest combination at the end when all players reveal their cards. These combinations are called the poker hands, and I will show them to you. The second way to win is without even showing your cards. If all the other players fold and leave the game before the final stage, you are the winner. In each round you have 3 options. You can fold, which means you give up and lose any chips or money you've already bet. The second one is to call, which means you stay in by matching the bet. And the last one is to raise, where you increase the stakes. If nobody has raised the bet before your turn, you don't have to do anything to stay in. This is called checking. A single Texas Hold'em game consists of 5 stages, and 4 of them are betting rounds. The first stage is called the pre-flop. Each player gets 2 private cards, and they can decide if they want to fold, raise, or call. The second stage is called flop. 3 community cards are placed face up on the table, following by a round of betting. The third stage is called the turn, or 4th street. The 4th community card is revealed, and another betting takes place. The 4th stage is called the river, or 5th street, where the last community card is revealed and the last betting round starts. If there are still players left, we are at the last stage called the showdown. In this stage, all the remaining players will reveal their cards and determine who is the winner. The person with the best 5-card poker hands will win the pot. If multiple players have the same winning hand, the pot is equally split between them. It is also possible for a player to fold at the showdown without even showing their cards. This happens when they see another person's hands and they decide they don't see a chance of winning. Instead of showing their own cards, they simply accept defeat and their hand remains hidden. In poker, one of the players is always marked as a dealer, but this position changes after every game played. The dealer's position is marked with a little chip called the dealer button, or simply the button. The button moves clockwise around the table after every game played. Even in games with a real dealer who handle the cards, or online games, the button still nominates one of the players as a dealer. The 2 players sitting to the left of the dealer are called the big blind and the small blind. These players have to place mandatory bets before the cards are dealt. The small blind places a smaller bet, and the big blind places a larger bet, usually twice of the size of the small blind. They are called blind because these players are forced to bet without seeing their cards, making the bet blind. These bets ensures that there are always money in the pot. The minimum bet is usually determined before the game starts, often by poker room or tournament rules. In some games, the bet level increases over time, for example, throughout every 10 minutes or a set of number of hands. In Texas Hold'em, the action always moves clockwise, so it follows the direction of the dealer button. In the first betting round, pre-flop, the first player to act is the one sitting left to the big blind. This player is called under the gun because he has to be the first one to make the decision. In all the later betting rounds, the first player to act is the first active player left to the dealer. In Texas Hold'em, there are 2 main ways to play: tournaments or cash games. A tournament has a fixed buying cost, and every player starts with the same amount of chips. The game continues until one of the players has all the chips, and the prizes are awarded based on the finishing position. Players usually cannot rebuy chips once they lose them. The blind bet level increases over time, forcing actions as the tournament progresses. A cash game is played with real money chip, each chip representing an actual money currency. Players can join or leave the table at any time and buy more chips whenever they want to, as long as they stay within the table limits. The blind bet levels stay the same throughout the whole game and there is no elimination, so the players play for as long as they like. In short, tournaments are all about surviving and winning all the chips. Meanwhile, cash games allow players to come and go freely and play with real money at any time. Texas Hold'em is often played in a format called No Limit, which means there is no maximum betting limit on any turn. Players can bet any amount of chips they have in front of them, even go all in, meaning they bet everything they have at once. This makes No Limit Hold'em an exciting and aggressive game, where one single hand can decide the outcome of a single session. Unlike Limit Hold'em, where betting amounts are fixed, No Limit allows for big bluffs, high-risk moves, and dramatic wins. The ranking of poker hands, also called poker formations, determines the winner at the showdown stage. These hands are formed using the 2 private hole cards and the 3 to 5 community cards on the table. If you play online, the software will usually automatically display your hand and rank it for you. Some programs even show the probability of winning with those hands. However, it's still essential to memorize the poker hand rankings. At first, it might seem like a lot to remember, but with practice, recognizing them will become natural. A straight flush consists of 5 consecutive cards of the same suit. The strongest type of the straight flush is the royal flush, which includes the ace, king, queen, jack, and 10 of the same suit. This is the highest possible hand in poker variants. Next is 4 of a kind, which means having 4 cards of the same value. If 2 or more players have them, one with the higher set of the 4 cards wins. A full house consists of 3 cards of the same value and 2 cards of another. If multiple players have them, the one with the higher set of the 3 matching cards wins. If those are the same, the higher pair determines the winner. A flush is made up of 5 cards from the same suit, but they do not have to be in consecutive order. If multiple players have them, the one with the highest card in the flush wins. A straight consists of 5 consecutive cards of any of the suits. If more than one player have them, one with the highest ranked end card wins. A 3 of a kind is when you have 3 cards of the same value. In case of a tie, the player with the highest valued 3 card wins. 2 pair means you have 2 cards of one rank and 2 cards of another. If multiple players have them, the highest ranked wins. If those are the same, the second pair is compared. If both pairs are identical, the kicker decides the winner. 1 pair is simply 2 cards of the same value. If more than 1 people have them, the highest ranked wins. If those are the same, the highest kicker card determines the winner. Finally, the high card is when a hand doesn't fall into any of the previous categories. In this case, the player with the highest single card wins. If needed, the second highest, the third highest, and so on are compared to break ties. Now you know the rules of the game and you are ready to start playing. However, this video only covered the very basics. To become a good poker player, there's a lot more to learn and practice. Poker strategy and psychology are deep topics, entire books have been written about them, and they are even studied in scientific research. Mastering poker takes skill, patience, and experience. I wish you good luck on your poker journey.